Hey everybody, welcome back to the Move podcast, brought to you each and every day this year by Ventum Bikes, who are designed, tested, and assembled in North America and delivered directly to your door. I personally love my road bike, my NS1, custom painted thing looks sick. My gravel bike, my GS1, love, maybe my favorite bike they make. Special offer for our listeners, 10% off when you use the code WEDU, W-E-D-U at checkout over at ventumracing.com/themove. If you don't get the bike within 3 weeks, tack on an additional 10%. That's ventumracing.com/themove. A few times every week, we're going to highlight one of the riders of the day who has tagged Ventum Rider of the Day and also follows at Ventum Racing plus at WeDo.team. Today's rider of the day is the real Smith McNeil. You ever thought about how people come up with these? I like that one. Like how do you, like, shit's taken, you know?
He's got the old school kit on.
He's got the old school postal kit on. What year is that? That's, boy, that's going back 1999, isn't it? He's got the 1999 postal kit. He says, I just thought I'd hop on the Ventum Racing chain started by WeDo.team, the Move podcast, and talk about me for a second. Love that. Why do I ride? I ride because cycling gives me a sense of freedom. Well, that makes a lot of us. When I'm on the bike, I feel like I can let go of all of my stresses and worries, and that time is a time of rest and relaxation for my brain. But at the same time, being on the bike gives me time to pray, think about decisions on my plate I make on a daily basis, and work on myself. My time on the bike is not just time for exercise and getting in shape, but also allows me, scroll down, my bad. Wow, allows me time to enjoy God's creation. I can ride these roads all day, and I get to look around and thoroughly enjoy God's perfect creation. I ride for each and every one of my awesome and amazing sponsors who keep me motivated to keep on the grind. I ride not just to be fit, but because I love the feeling of freedom I get while I'm out there. And I think that's it. Like if I didn't ride and be outside, like I'd go nuts. The real Smith McNeil nailed it. That's exactly right. We are talking about stage 8. We'll cue our friend Alain. Where did we start and go to, Alain?
Stage 8 from Dole to Lausanne. Dole to Lausanne.
That was an easy one. We could have pulled that off, right? Incredible win. Yet another incredible win by Wout Van Aert. We'll break that down here in just a second. And also, I think there's some interesting dynamics playing out in this Peloton, which we'll also break down. Today's show also brought to you by Momentous. We've all spent the majority of our lives trying to be better, try to be higher performing. Momentous is a brand that came along, and they wake up and go to bed every day thinking about how do athletes perform better. PR lotion, which of course is very, very prevalent in the Peloton. We've been talking about for many years. More than 6 clinical studies proves that it actually works and buffers lactic acid. The thing that slows you down when you're going up a hill, sprinting up a hill on your bike or running or swimming, whatever it is, it absolutely works. Check this out. Over 175 pro and college teams trust it. Over 75% of the NFL teams actually buy their products. Incredible. Stuff works. They've expanded the product line. These guys and gals are on fire. I'll say right now. So right now, every order gets 2 free 5-packs of PR lotion, right? 2 free 5-packs. So these are little individual ones you can test out on your own. When you spend $75 or more, just head on over to livemomentous.com/themove. That's livemomentous.com/themove. Also today, brought to you by Roka. I love talking about them. Rob and his crew, just a bunch of badass athletes. That I think they've come along and eclipsed everybody in the eyewear business. I mean, when you go on a group rides, Georgia Fondos, man, you're seeing Rokas everywhere.
Yeah, you see them everywhere.
They're everywhere. And look at you. I can barely see your Rokas because you got the clear-through readers or see-through readers.
That's right.
And based on the way that you've been acting today, I might just keep those on so you're even more focused. But on the sunglass side, the prescription side, completely crushing it. They're lightweight. They don't slip. The designs are cool. The optics and the lens is incredible. Special offer for our listeners, 20% off. Head on over to Roka. That's ROKA.com. 20% off there. Buy code is THEMOVE. Roka.com. Well, I don't want to say it's getting old, but we've had 8 stages. We've had actually more than I thought. I kind of had it down as 4 teams winning stage. We got 5 teams, which is 22 teams in the Tour de France. So now you have over a week into it, you have 17 teams that have been donutted. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do when you have guys like Wout Van Aert, Tadej Pogacar? What are you going to do?
These teams are going to have to come up with different strategies. We're going to start seeing some of these true sprinters like Michael Matthews. He even said today in his interview that, he just doesn't know how to beat these guys anymore. So he might have to start going in breakaways, which when sprinters are in breakaways, it lowers their chances of wins because nobody wants to work with a true sprinter.
Yeah. And then they attack them at the end, and
maybe his only option. But I did like the aggression that Bike Exchange showed. They started working early on. They controlled the race. They had confidence in Michael Matthews. They have the pressure, so to speak, off of them because they've already got a stage win. And we actually got a little, voice memo from Matthew White, their director. You want to listen to it now or in a little bit?
Up to JB. But
go ahead and play it.
But so this is just to set it up. So, and just a little more on Michael Matthews' interview. This guy has had an incredible career. He's won a green jersey. He has won stages in the Tour, but he's also been second. I think we're up to a handful of times now. He almost sounded defeated in his interview. By the way, he had a perfect position. He was on the perfect line. He was on the inside line for that sprint. We'll break that down in a second. But if I'm, and this would be a great question for Matt White, like if I'm them, I'm done pulling. Like a stage like that, and Wout Van Aert is in the race, I don't pull. It's like you have you are given sort of the freeway to say we're not pulling. We can't beat you
because Van Aert's the boss.
He's the boss.
You got to do the work.
He's the boss.
Your team has to do the work.
Let's listen to Matt White, what he had to say about today's stage.
Yeah, the boys committed 100% today. We knew it was a stage that really did suit Michael's characteristics, but it really did take a team effort. And the boys all executed their role very, very well to give Michael the best chance of winning today. And at the end of the day, Wout Van Aert's a freak, but Michael played the final very well, anticipated the sprint, and just come up a little bit short, but very proud of the way the boys rode. And at the end of the day, we're not even 1 week into this Tour de France, and we will not stop chasing wins.
Ooh.
Hey, at least it was Wout Van Aert that won, because you were sitting there going, if Pogacar wins again, this is just, at least there's that variety.
Well, when we were all watching together, I thought if he comes around Wout Van Aert in the sprint,
that's
my
just
Lord.
Too beastly.
Not uneventful for Tadej Pogacar and his team as they lost a rider due to a COVID positive test through the night. So,
they lost
the Norwegian kid.
I might butcher this one, but Stein.
Yeah, we just say
Vegard Lagan, who
just say Norwegian.
Norwegian, who's a very important part of that team. He does a lot of the early work, which I know from personal experience is one of the hardest jobs there is. So. That's a big blow to the team for sure.
Well, it makes you think too if what their bubble is like. If a UAE rider is going home, was he having dinner with Pogacar the night before?
Well, it's just contact tracing. You walk it all the way back. Who did that rider get massage from the day before or the day of? What other riders did that masseuse give massage to? The dinner table. Who was he sitting next to in the bus? Who did he high five after the stage when Tadej Pogacar won? You got to walk. You got to keep it. It's a tangled web.
It is,
and so and we're not. Look, let's all hope that doesn't happen. But a year or two ago, people would be freaking full on freak out mode.
Well, I think a year or two ago, if it was one positive, they send the whole team home.
Right, but I'm just saying the way society was with, oh my God, you were around somebody a month ago, and that person was around somebody 6 months ago. We all got to stay inside.
What's the incubation on that? If from that rider to, are we going to see him test positive?
I'd be shocked if we see any more COVID high fives from the winners of the races.
If any of the riders are listening to this, no more high five in these spans. Just yell at them. Hey, thanks. Thank you. Thanks for coming out.
And not
no
only
more touching hands.
Not only that, but each rest day from now moving forward, they have full race, COVID testing. So hopefully on the rest day, we're not going to get more names because we don't want to lose riders right now to COVID. That's for sure.
No. Should we break down the sprint? I thought there was some interesting stuff there.
Which even will give more credit to Wout Van Aert.
Oh my God.
Here we go.
So here he is in perfect position here until he wasn't. Right there.
200 meters ago, he gets squeezed.
But he just sat on the brakes, pulled back, repositioned, goes around the outside. Keep in mind, he's going around the outside. The road is bending right. He's taking the longer line. He could have won it with one leg.
Yeah, so a couple of things to note. I mean, there's clearly a super hard finish. I think there's under 25 riders left in that group. Wout Van Aert gets squeezed in, stops right there, 200 meters to go, has to stop pedaling. In any other sprinter in the world, you're out of the race right there. If you're stopping to pedal with less than 200 meters to go. And I mean, you got to hand it to Michael Matthews. Perfect sprint. He went with 150 meters to go and still gets passed by Wout Van Aert under the 100-meter
and even at that point, when you're 100 to go and you don't see it, you don't see behind you, you're not looking behind you.
No.
He's probably thinking, I have the inside line. I'm feeling good. He probably senses that Pogacar's there, that he's got him, and then out of the corner of his eye comes this green beast, the jolly green giant, just comes right by him.
Yeah, no, this guy can do it all. I mean, already got 2 stage wins, a bunch of second places,
a lot of points,
solo attacks, a lot of. He said he wanted to, protect his lead in the green jersey. He's got almost double the points over second place right now. Yeah. I was just surprised to see Jumbo-Visma working early on, clearly going for the stage win, when you think that their main goal would be the overall with Vingegaard and Primoz.
Well, it's funny, at the beginning of the tour, we talked about the opening time trial and how it would be great for Wout Van Aert just to pick up some points because the green jersey is the green jersey competition is always close at the end. They're scrapping for intermediate sprints. Sometimes it comes down to Paris. This is a nail biter. Wout Van Aert, 264 points. Fabio Jakobsen, 149.
Yeah, he can almost just sit up right now and not go over anymore.
And if you're the tour, you're going, okay, green jersey, I feel like we know what's going to happen. Yellow jersey, I feel like we know what's going to happen.
White jersey.
That leaves us to my favorite. Like, what is going to happen? Let me just check my favorite jersey, the KOM jersey. Oh, it's been so hilly that Magnus Kort has 11 points. Oh man, it's been
so he's still leading.
And Tadej Pogacar is second, who is the best climber in the race. Yeah. Imagine this kid.
Well, had he won today's stage, he would have taken the mountain jersey, the young rider jersey, and the yellow jersey.
And I think he could have won today.
Yeah, he did look like he was not full gas in.
Do we have Wout Van Aert's interview? Because as Alain told us, we finished in the Olympic capital, the global Olympic city of the whole Olympic movement, Lausanne, Switzerland, and the guy interviewing him asked him what it meant to him to finish in the capital of the Olympics. Here he goes.
You win in Lausanne, the city of the IOC. How important symbolically is that win in the Olympic city?
Didn't think about it, but
thank you. This is the fucking greatest thing I've ever heard him say. Because cycling fans and cycling people and anybody involved who wants to create a true global sport, Lausanne, Switzerland will not matter. You do not need the IOC and you do not need the UCI. You do not need these people. This is a huge global sport. Run it independently. Into discussion.
I haven't seen it, but I bet they're really fancy corporate offices.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Let me tell you something. You think politics in America is bad? These guys.
Whole other show right there.
That's a whole nother show.
I will mention that our show Outcomes with Johan and Spencer did pick the last 2 days correctly.
I mean,
they're on it.
They are on it. Where's my... That's gone. Oh, dang. You guys keep going. I don't know what I'm doing.
It looked like you were getting ready for something there.
I am. I'm getting ready for something. I've been 6 days off the wine. I might have a swig of the dry farm wine. I'm kidding. What else do we have in our notes there? Well, I guess we could let's just get it out of the way. Because this is, we had all these little side competitions. And there we posted one up yesterday with our friends Huckberry about who wore it better. So it was George or myself. Hey, that's actually closer than I would have thought. So here, who wore it better? And I get it. I get it. No, I get it. He's the nice guy. He's the popular guy, and he's damn sure the better looking guy. But just so you know, seeing that 35%, guess who accounts for one of those votes in there, or some of those votes, or some of those percents? Mm-hmm. Myself. I voted for myself. It popped up, and I was like, oh, fuck it. Click, LA. Not enough.
Hey, another thing I wanted to point out in today's finish was I'm actually starting to like Roglic right now. He didn't. In a typical sprint like today, you'd see him up there leading out Wout Van Aert or going for the win himself. But I feel like he's kind of hiding, and I feel like hopefully he's gotten past the worst part of his crash. And let's remember, 2 years ago, Roglic was climbing better than Pogacar for the most part.
Correct.
So I say it every day,
And
I'm liking his position. I'm liking the way he's looking. And I think we're going to start seeing more and more aggression out of him.
Right. And as my great friend Ed Richet, the legendary artist, says, that was then, and this is now. He's got 249 to make up on his countryman, Tadej Pogacar. But I agree. I mean, look, and if you look at where that team sits on the these two teams, Ineos and Jumbo, you got to, maybe not tomorrow. We'll get into tomorrow in a second. But as you get to Alpe d'Huez, you got to start playing the team game. There's no way to beat this kid.
And you can go back historically too and look at the Ulrich and Kloden train against you. What did they do to try to
Vinokurov in those years?
They had the three guys that were top 5 contenders. So I think it'd be interesting. I think a lot of these teams will be looking back historically to see what worked and what didn't work and what they can do better to try to take advantage of the strength of their team.
Yeah. Our next partner is a product that I literally use every day. I'm talking about Athletic Greens. It's something that I use to supplement my diet. Bottom line, it has helped me to take control of my health. I've gotten the team hooked on it, right? G's on it every day. Liz Kreutz is on it every day. Courtney, the C-Knot, is on it every day. It's a game changer. I mean, it really, if you're looking to sort of optimize your diet and your lifestyle, look no further than Athletic Greens. 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens, all for less than $3 a day. Think about that. Less than $3 a day, you take control of your life and your health. Maybe not your whole life, but you definitely help take control of your health. Right now, special offer. Let's make it easy. Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D, which we also all need, plus 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is head over to athleticgreens.com/themove. That's athleticgreens.com/themove. And if you get the big bowl, and Liz will post these pictures on our social media, but if you get the big bowl, and once you run out, because they give you the bowl and the little water bottle where you fill it every day, it makes the best cereal bowl I've ever had. Like when I walk down into the kitchen and I want some muesli or something, like today I had my Rips Big Bowl and all this stuff and a banana. If that bowl's not there, it's a different bowl of muesli. This is legit.
That's the big selling point now.
They'll
put it in their cereal bowl. You're done.
I love the bowl.
The bowl is actually for the powder.
I'm saying when you run. No, don't start.
Not for the cereal.
When you run out of the powder, you get the bowl. The bowl. Yeah. You're not. Are you listening?
Well, I usually just put the new pack into the bowl, recycle the bowl.
Order
with
another.
the powder. Anyway, moving on.
Great bowls.
You are off, George, folks.
That's what he's saying. It's great.
George is. I knew it right when he walked in.
It's a great bowl.
And then his Facebook got hacked mid-stage, and the wheels just came off, and now he's not even listening to me. Today's show also brought to you by Dry Farm Wines. As we all know, winemaking is an ancient process, goes back thousands of years. It has completely evolved. Now most winemakers are allowed to put up to 76 different preservatives and additives into wine. Not if you're Dry Farm Wines. They've come along and completely revolutionized biodynamic and organic wines. Check this out. It is with no irrigation. That means 1.4 billion gallons of less water for irrigation. Totally sugar-free, lower alcohol. As I said, organically and biodynamically grown, additive-free, friendly to keto and paleo. And these are all grown on small family farms, including the ones in France. A special offer for our listeners. We did a special, George and I helped curate this thing. It was kind of cool. Special box of French biodynamic and organic wines that Dry Farm Wines has approved. Just head on over to dryfarmwines.com/wedo. All right.
We do have another clip worth showing.
Oh God! It's like one of these surprises.
We were. I'm trying to confirm who was the Lotto Soudal rider.
Oh, this is good.
Wie zou je goed kunnen imiteren?
Peter Sagan.
Oh ja, Sagan is leuk.
He can
Yeah, guys, I think today it will be sprint again. Yeah, I will be there, but everybody want to be there.
That's a pretty good.
He didn't say make party, though.
That's a good Sagan. We think that was Friesen.
Oh.
Friesen, doing the Sagan impression.
God, I want Sagan just to win a stage or two, just so he can, just for the interview. I mean,
we're due.
Yeah, maybe we have him on the show.
So we had some of the favorites crash today. Pogacar crashed early on. Vlasov crashed again. Who's having a bit of a struggle. Ben O'Connor off the back.
He's been struggling.
Tough race for him. Hopefully he's able to bounce back in the second part of this race.
Yeah, that's hard. You start hitting the deck on the tour, man. It's and a lot of these guys want to stay, but at the same time, parts of their head is like, kind of want to go home.
Yeah,
it's a hard place to be mentally.
Well, I don't know if you've watched the Jumbo Visma documentary of last year's Tour de France. I found it
negative.
Really interesting that Primož Roglič said in one of the interviews that he had worked so hard to be at the top level, and obviously these crashes took him off his top level. So he's like, what am I doing here? Why am I going to just ride around just to make it to Paris if I'm not at my best and perhaps, affect the rest of my season? So he dropped out and ended up winning the Tour of Spain, which we're sort of seeing the same thing right now with Mathieu van der Poel. He said, I'm not really firing on all pistons. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, and he's definitely missing something. Talk a little bit about tomorrow's stage, right quick, before we're going to touch on Uvalde. We got a nice offer from one of our listeners. But let's pull up tomorrow's stage, and I won't even try to say the name. Again, in the tour, you have sort of stages, and then you have mountain stages, and then you have medium mountain stage. This is a medium mountain stage, in my opinion. All basically stays in that area. Starts in Egla, of course, is the home of the UCI, another place we will not need in the future. It's just basically a big loop in that area. But it starts Cat 4, Cat 2, Cat 1, and Cat 1. Keep in mind, Cat 1s are hard, but they are not the highest category, which is HC. I think this is a day of break.
We thought that for today's stage as well, but it's funny how things work out. Not funny, but today, obviously with the crash happening 20K to go, it disrupted all the attacks. Perhaps some people stopped being aggressive because Pogacar is on the ground and 2 or 3 guys get away. It's not very typical. So what happens after 2 or 3 guys get away? The teams behind that may have an interest for a stage win go, we can control this pretty easily. So that's what happened today. They were able to control it, bring it back for a field sprint. Tomorrow, who knows what can happen. Typically, that should be a breakaway day. I agree. And
back to my point earlier, now we have 17 teams. Now there's a lot of time left. We got, just under 2 weeks, or right around 2 weeks. Some of these days are a given who's going to win. So you got 17 teams that better start figuring out a way to win a stage. And if you're in the team meeting, imagine the directors, and they think a break is going to go. It is a directive. If you're not in the break, then you guys are going to be pulling.
Yeah. For more than 10 teams in the bunch tomorrow, their whole objective of the stage is make that breakaway. So it's going to be a very, very tough, aggressive start.
And then now that we're going in stage 9, that's the pressure to get some kind of results in your Tour de France for everybody, right? A lot of pressure.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hey, I've got good news on Uvalde Bikes for Kids. We're going to be going down there next month and with a lot of our listeners and passing out bikes to all these kids.
God, look at our listeners. Look what we're doing here. We're approaching halfway, and we got 2 weeks to go on this tour.
Yeah.
We're
the Pogacars of fundraising here.
Well, no, we are not. Our listeners and our viewers are.
You guys are
incredible.
very, very generous. And if you go to wedo.team, you'll find the icon. Our partners with Operation Get Out and Wish for Wheels and Mellow Johnny's building all the bikes, all working hard on the logistics to pull this off. Some quick shout outs to some donors here real quick. Bob and Kristen Corbett, Michael O'Brien, thank you. Greg Garrison, Katie Meyer, Sophia Chow. Let's see, Sarah Miller bought 4 bikes.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Michael Kaiser, Kenneth Davis, we appreciate all your contributions. And good news here today.
Okay.
We have a up to $5,000 match from our friends at Ski Dock, which is my boat dealer in Austin, Texas.
Love it.
And they're basically the people behind Operation Get Out. They use a lot of water activities for mental health. They also have shifted that program a bit to add bikes. That's how this all kind of came together. Using bikes to get outside, mental health. All these kids, we're getting over 700, I think about 750 bikes for all the elementary kids in Uvalde. So today, if you want to donate up to $5,000, Ski Dock is matching that. So that should put us over the halfway mark today. That's the goal.
And if you're watching that flow code right there, and we haven't touched on the flow code, but you can just hold your phone up to that flow code. That'll take you straight to the site. You can donate. And I'm sure somebody's going to do this. However, if they don't, as much as I've been saying bad words this year, I bet the swear jar gets us there to the match.
Someone's probably, in our listeners, someone's probably counting.
Oh, no, I don't know. Every year they count. No, and how much? Anyway, we'll break it down towards the end. I don't want to. I'm having a great day. My son's coming home from football camp today. I haven't seen him in 2 weeks, so I'm super excited to see little Max. And Olivia comes home. We're leaving tomorrow to go pick her up at camp in Minnesota. So come Monday, I'm going to have my kids back in the house, and that's it. It'll be great.
We have a happy Lance. Let's go back to the profile because I want to talk about some potential strategies that could be happening tomorrow that could make it really fun. So if I'm Jumbo Visma or Ineos, where I know I got strong guys, where I know I got guys that can definitely make the breakaway early on, I'm going to send Wout Van Aert or one of the Ineos guys up early, and then I'm going to have one of my GC threats like Adam Yates or like Primoz Roglic try to bridge across to one of their teammates and really get a toe on that first category climb. Stay with them on the valley, try to make a difference. Just try to start making some dings in the armor of the UAE and the Pogacar train. That's what I'm thinking. I'd love to hear what Johan thinks, but we could definitely see that happen starting tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, and it's worth noting that when I touched on the Cat 1 climbs, because anybody if you have climbs in your area, you probably know how long they are, their percentages. I mean, we're still talking, they're tough climbs. I mean, 8 kilometers at 7.6%, so call that 5 miles at 7. That's a tough climb. These are not easy climbs. Then towards the end, the one at the end is long, right? 15.4 kilometers, almost 10 miles at 6%. And
no downhill at the top.
And very little downhill, and then it goes back up again. I mean, these aren't easy. I'm not trying to make light of them. They're just not, to me, like a Sunday in the Tour de France. Where is Ventoux? Where is Alpe d'Huez? Where is the Tourmalet?
But when they're not easy, that means it's easier for the stronger guys to attack from behind. It makes it a bit harder for teams like UAE to control.
Yeah.
So I feel like we could see more fireworks tomorrow.
Who's a man down now?
Yeah.
And of course, they did want to hold Duez for Alpe d'Huez for Bastille Day,
right? Which
is on Thursday, so everybody's off work, and that's the day they lose their sunglasses and flip flops.
That's right.
I didn't lose my sunglasses. I lost my reading glasses.
Oh, okay.
And I have not yet located my flip flops. Full APB out on those if anybody's interested. And but I have reordered the exact same pair online. So anyway.
Okay.
Let's do some emails.
Yeah, this is an interesting email. Indiana University MD candidate class of 2023. Peter writes, hello from Indianapolis. My name is Pete. I'm a fourth-year medical student at Indiana University School of Medicine. I listen to your show every morning on the way to the hospital around 4:30 a.m.
Oh, fun.
Ooh. Yeah, thank you. To land specifically, I'm currently on the urology cancer service here at IU. Beyond bikes and racing in the Tour, thank you for what your legacy has done and continues to do for patients, providers, and trainees like myself in the world of urologic cancer treatment. You continue to be a source of motivation. I got to be part of a surgery to treat testicular cancer last week, and it was nothing short of incredible. See you in the douches, Pete.
No, thank you.
Good
yeah,
work.
and obviously Indiana University, near and dear to my heart. Dr. Larry Einhorn, who still practices on a daily basis there. Super, and without him, not just myself, but hundreds of thousands of young men aren't alive. Super proud to have endowed his chair at IU, and it's a great school. I mean, that's the young dudes out there. You ever get diagnosed with TC, you're heading to Indiana.
That's the place.
Yeah.
Okay. This made me laugh. It says, hey, lads, glad to hear LA is enjoying indoor riding now. I personally do the majority of my training indoors, so much so that my father-in-law mocks me and calls me Lounge Armstrong. That's from Andre in South Africa.
Yeah, well, his father hasn't done it. That's been the biggest surprise about this indoor kiddie stuff. And I don't know how this Zwift thing, like the people, man, I get like the bottom 10% of the field. I blame the altitude.
It is hard. It's harder than you think.
Yeah.
Hi, Lance, George, and JB. I'm a big fan of the show. Been watching Tour de France since I was 6. I grew up cheering for Postal and Discovery. Watching this new generation of cycling where younger cyclists, and particularly Pogacar, appear to be dominating, do you think it is making the white jersey competition a bit of a non-event? would it be more appropriate as the best new rider competition? Maybe their first year in the tour. Also, would it be a good idea to have the competition for best rider above a certain age? Thanks for bringing us the move every day.
Yeah.
Look forward to the rest of the race. That's Shannon and Danny in Northern Ireland.
I think it's there's so much legacy here. It's hard to. I mean, you could almost say, okay, now it's the right. These guys are getting younger and younger. You could lower the age. I don't see that happening. I mean, they're pretty stuck in their ways. The organization, and nobody saw this coming. Nobody saw that we would have, a Pogacar. Even now, Pidcock is wearing the jersey. Pidcock is an amazing rider. Back then, it was the white jersey was somebody that could not sniff the front of the GC.
Yeah, well,
it's just changed. Sports changed.
I mean, we had back in our day, TJ Van Garderen got the white jersey. I think he was 5th place overall. So we've had that, but definitely the age bracket seems to be getting younger and younger. And perhaps, like you just mentioned, Lance, lowering that white jersey age might be a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody had even asked if this has ever been done, potentially 3 white jerseys in a row. This has to be a first.
Well, yeah, right? I think that's a foregone conclusion.
Right. A little overshadowed by the big. And one more comment here. I thought you'd like this because now you're a bit of a hockey fan, Lance.
Yeah.
The main reason I'm writing you is I thought you boys might find this funny. I play men's hockey. I am for sure the only guy in the rink that follows the tour. Last night during a heated game, my defensive partner ran some guy into the corner. The guy had it coming. And then another guy responded with a face wash. I don't know what a face wash is.
I don't either.
It doesn't sound good. Probably can't be good. Right. Everybody on the ice grabbed someone, just something you do. And as the refs were escorting some of us off the ice, I smiled at the other team and said, "See you in the douches." I thought it sounded cool, and it was the perfect line. They had zero clue what WTF I was talking about.
Oh. Well, if you've ever had a kid who plays hockey, especially a young boy, and after a month or two of the season, when their hockey bag comes home, I mean, you can't keep it far enough away from the house. So in terms of seeing the douches, like you really want to see these dudes in the douches. Like this is the stinkiest bag of gear that a human could ever produce. No, for real. And all you hockey moms and dads out there, you're sitting there just high-fiving, laughing at each other. You know what I'm talking. This shit is the worst. No, it's like chemical warfare. I'm not kidding.
I've heard that.
I can imagine if he's got your sweat glands, what that would be like. But going back to the professional, I mean, hockey players are fans of cycling. Our buddy, Lance and I's buddy, Zendo Chara is a big fan of the show, of the sport. We talk to him all the time. So hockey players like cycling as well. Okay. He's got nothing to be ashamed of.
No.
Cool. If you want to write into a future show, just send it to themove@wedo.team.
Love it. See you guys tomorrow.